Bam Shazam.
We're on, baby.
It's Friday.
It is.
It is Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, it is.
It also happens to be first of the month.
Yeah, I've
And
just put that together.
I am going to have your fish tacos today.
You should.
I am.
Yeah. When I started getting ready to come over here today, I'm like, fish tacos.
I'm going to throw one of these. Boom, throw that out there. I'm excited to welcome you guys to our conversation today. Good morning. I'm Bob Ryder.
I'm Larry Fry.
We just forgot all that. We're just having a convo, right? This is kind of how we roll.
Yeah.
And I think
a lot. As a matter of fact, just before we turned this on today, we have another topic already that we both were wham. We were just chatting about. Yeah.
Really good stuff. I think last week didn't live when we lived. So we put it up as a recording, and today I know we're live.
And you guys missed a great conversation for about the first 10 minutes.
Actually, it's one of our most watched episodes now.
Is it really? Oh, nice.
I had a friend back in Boston reach out to me. She's like, "Hey, I'm home. I'm not feeling good, and I just watched you, and I fell asleep and woke up thinking that you'd been in the room with me and that I missed you." She goes, "Then I had to watch the rest of the episode." I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome."
So who's the goofy guy with you? I was on a roll last week.
We have fun, right? And I'm trying to get my collar to flip down a little bit because wow.
Yeah.
Except I think the mic's on there somewhere. Anyway, good morning, everybody. It's First Friday. It's May 5th, and we've got a great topic today that I pulled from one of my LinkedIn contacts. Mm-hmm. And I love this episode, and it is so germane to what we're doing with our business right now. I'm excited to have that conversation.
Yep, and we've touched on this a lot, but we haven't really devoted an episode to it. So I'm kind of excited to do that also.
Yeah.
So yeah,
pretty cool. I don't have a lot of announcements today, but we do have. Let me see if I can find it down here. I need to turn this dude off. And that's going to be our topic slide when we get to it. Here is our fun shoot tomorrow. Let me put that over for everybody to take a look at. Tomorrow, and actually I think it's all weekend, the Civil War reenactment out at Eagle Island State Park. This is going to be an interesting time. This is not our event. We've talked a little bit about this last week.
Right.
I saw you put an event out through email.
Yep.
Lots of ways to communicate these days. But this is not our event. This is the Civil War reenactment group. And we're going to go out and just gather as photographers and shoot and socialize.
Have a good time with it. So, again, not our event. They do actually fire weapons out there. Obviously, they're blanks.
Yeah, cannons and muskets and things.
So a pair of earplugs may be in order, just saying.
Yeah, or noise-canceling headphones, something.
And we're just going to meet out there. There's no tour. We don't get any behind the scenes or anything like that. We're just going to go out there and shoot, chat, have a good time. That's about it.
I'm a little conflicted. My 10-year-old has a soccer game mid-morning that I'd love to be at, but I also know that I need to be over there. And
I'm going to have to leave at about 1. I have fortunately or unfortunately, I've got a sod cutter that I got to go get.
Sod cutter? That sounds like work.
It's going to be. This is going to be a mess. So yeah. But anyway, tomorrow it'll be fun. Come on out and just shoot with us. And we don't care. You got an iPhone? That's fine. Oh, I said the I word. If you have an Android, that's fine.
Google Pixel.
I'm not a.
Maybe, do you have the Pixel?
Pixel 6, yes.
Pixel 6, and you love it.
Yeah, that thing's.
Yeah.
So. For those of you that don't know, the Google Pixel goes out over Wi-Fi if it can. I get service just about everywhere. I mean, there's not, maybe, well, no, I had it in Montana last year too. Maybe in the middle of the state of Idaho in the Frank Church Wilderness area, I wouldn't be able to get anything. But I'm telling, with Starlink, probably could, but I'm not hauling any Starlink out.
Right,
so.
right.
Anyway, Pixel 6 works well. But any type of camera, don't care if you have point and shoot, whatever, it doesn't matter to us. We don't care. If you'd like pointers or whatever and you want to ask, great. If you want to check out our equipment and say, what does that do? Great. If you're more advanced than that, great. We don't care.
I worked a big event yesterday at Jump, in Boise, and you know, I dual wield. I run a wide angle zoom, and I run my 72, and I dual wield.
Dual wield.
Yeah,
Wow.
I wear my camera holster
Wow.
system with
Dual
two
wield.
cameras, right? So I run my 14 to 35 on one and my 7200 on the other, and it's funny. We've talked perception a little bit before. People are like, oh wow, you must really be a really good photographer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
I did have a lady say that her daughter just graduated and is into photography. Is taking her first year at college, and she bought her a camera and one fancy lens, and we just had a conversation. So it's a great conversation starter.
Sure.
That's where I wanted to go with it.
Yeah. And actually it kind of makes a difference because I covered a wedding last year in Seattle, had a unannounced second shooter. Well, it was announced, but anyway, this guy came out with this is not brand specific. He came out with a Sony mirrorless, so they're tiny, right?
Yeah, they are.
I also dual wield when I do the wedding bit. So
it just makes sense.
I got both my bodies hanging on me, 7200 and 2470. That's the wedding photographer's thing. And, he's going around there with this little Sony, which is great. That's a great camera. Don't get me wrong. But there was no one talking to him about photography. And there was a lot of people that came up to me and asked me about cameras and lenses and stuff like that. So that perception is out there. Whether you want it or not, it's out there.
So if you're gonna, you just have to capitalize on it.
Oh,
I had
absolutely.
great conversations yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about the degree thing. I think we'll do an episode on that, so we don't need to
Yeah.
spend time with it here.
Yeah.
But Laquita, I'm going to come back to, Laquita's got a question.
Hey, Laquita, hi.
I'm
I saw
gonna
you
come back-
online last night. Did you see me online?
I'm going to come back here for just a minute.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to roll Laquita's question right across the top of this, which I couldn't do before today, but now I am. So Laquita asks if there's a time that we plan to get together. And I thought we were meeting at 9. It's a 9 to whatever event.
9 to 4, yeah.
9 to 4. So let's plan to meet around 9 o'clock. I don't know Eagle Island well enough to be able to pick a place.
No, me either. It's pretty small though. Just look for the group.
Yeah, and I've got a silver Ram truck with a shell on it, and it's pretty hard to
I got a big
miss.
blue pickup. You can't.
Yeah, and we both have photography-related license plates. So
yeah.
Look for the cluster or on the pickup trucks is probably the best way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited. This should be fun. So the other thing I would say to people, if you have a long lens, bring it, or long zoom, bring it. I don't know that we'll be able to get that close to these actors. We might, but we don't know. So
Laquita's got a question for you.
Oh, what was that?
Actually, it's not a question. Hey, Larry, I was wondering if that was you last night.
Yeah.
Cool. It is cool.
And Laquita jumped out there and gave the correct answer to so Tim was trying to trip us up with some crap, and Laquita goes, I'll have none of it. And she answered the question correctly. I don't answer questions on a Zoom call usually. I just let other people talk.
You don't even usually put your camera up.
I don't have a camera. This is the weird part. So I'm in my office last night, which is...
all of your Canon cameras can do that.
I know. I got probably 10 cameras in there. Literally, I have probably 10 cameras in there, and I don't have a single one of them hooked up to my computer.
That's so silly, dude. That's so funny.
So...
well, we've got lunch today. I should have a slide for that, but I don't.
You don't? What the heck?
What the heck, right? Let's see what I've got rolling down here. Let's do, what are you?
What's that?
I don't know.
That works.
Okay, yeah, actually, that's the right slide. Look, I have a slide for this. Did I mention I have a full-time job? Because this is really the deal.
We'll talk about jobs in just a second.
Okay, yes, we will. Man, I'm damn glad to have you here.
Yeah, so I always enjoy this. This is, I look forward to Friday mornings, because it's Friday, that's A, and then I get to do this. So it's fun.
I don't weekend well unless I have things that I know what to do. I haven't learned to relax well. It comes from many years of being on call all the time.
I can't relax this weekend. I have a whole backyard that's calling my name. So
For sod.
So we're putting in the cement curbing around the backyard. So tomorrow I have I have 2 stumps back there. One's about a 14-inch and one's about a 12-inch.
Stumps are a bear.
Yeah, so I have a sod cutter coming in to cut the sod so we can get ready for the curbing, and then Saturday I have Sunday I have a stump grinder rented.
Nice.
And so we're going to take care of that.
Are you doing that? Like,
Yeah, unfortunately,
Oh,
yeah.
dude.
And I got,
You're going to be wrecked next week.
oh, I'll be
You're a lot
mess.
more fit than I am. I feel
Well,
like.
I don't know. I'll tell you how fit I am on on Monday.
That's exactly how that's going to go.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I look forward to Friday, and our Friday lunch is today.
It is.
Don't
Bring
forget.
it over.
So Cinco de Mayo,
Pushing it in.
Pueblo Lindo over on Eagle. Well, it's North Eagle Road, but it actually faces U-Stick. Doesn't matter. Just get there. Pueblo Lindo. You got the address. You got GPSs. Make it happen. And today, it's not Cedric's in Idaho Falls.
No, it isn't. This slide's old.
Yeah, it's in Twin Falls. And if you go out to
I should take this slide down.
that's all right. You're fine. And if it's Twin Falls. So if you
But
go,
I think they're meeting earlier. I think they're at 11:30 today.
yes, they are. And I sent out PPI sent out a reminder on that, so that the correct restaurant and the correct address and the correct town is on that one. So
I didn't have the slide.
no, that's fine. At least you had the slide that said First Friday Lunch and Social.
It's today.
Yeah.
Cinco de Mayo, and we're
So real
both
quick,
meeting at Mexican restaurants.
yeah, real quick on the job front.
Can I, before that?
Yeah.
While we're still on that?
Oh, yeah.
I met a great gal named Cher. She is.
Was Sunny there also?
No.
Okay.
This gal has been a member of PPI in days gone by,
Really?
and she's retired, and she's selling off her studio gear. So
Oh.
Q and I were over there this week, bought a few things. I talked to Carly this week. Carly was visiting the studio this week, picking up her frog, and she had been there. And so anyway, I was talking to Cher while we were there because she knows a lot of our legacy folks. I said, we're meeting on Friday for lunch.
Is she
Why
on?
don't you come out? She texted me this morning. She says, I might be a little late, but I'm going to try and come by.
Sweet, nice. It's always nice to the people that you kind of lose track of after
man.
a while. It's nice to get them back and be able to talk to them
Well,
again.
and on top of that, nothing we're doing is new,
No,
right?
no.
There's a lot that changed. Do you remember when film was a thing and the photographers that shot weddings on Hasselblads and 35 millimeters, and so there's industry shifts, right? Well, we just went from DSLR
to mirrorless.
to mirrorless. That's an industry shift. There's people that are like, I'll never go to mirrorless, and there's
Yeah.
people like,
Bring it.
why did I wait?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So I adore talking to folks like Bob Quick,
Yeah, Bob Quick.
who worked
yep.
for Eastman Kodak and taught all around the country and has had studios for 50, 60, or 50 years. I don't know. How old are you, Bob? You're old.
Don't let him.
I can only say that because,
I'm old.
yeah, well, we spend time together, right?
Yeah.
These folks have so much to contribute to the conversation today.
Just listen to their stories.
Oh, man.
And that's all you have to do. I mean, I could sit and listen to Bob for hours about stuff they used
Bob
to.
Quick.
Yeah, Bob Quick. About stuff they
Not
used
me.
to. Well,
Although we do that
I
too.
do listen to you for hours. But yeah, Bob's just fascinating. He oh yeah, well we used to, and it'll be some conversation that everybody's kind of having,
Yep.
and it will, and like you said, nothing's new really, right?
Yeah,
It's-
not a lot. Yeah,
It's still taking
stuff
images.
has changed.
Yeah.
There's been transitions over the years,
And,
but these folks
you
came
know,
before
and-
us. They paved our path.
Exactly, and we're paving the path for the
Next
AI
generation.
for the AI
Oh my
generation.
goodness!
So
totally.
well,
well, and
anyway, we're going down to the rabbit hole.
but it all starts with lunch. And Bob's usually one of the folks that comes out.
Yeah.
All the way from Nissa
Yeah.
to have
Or-
lunch with us. I hope
yeah.
you're coming today, Bobby. I
Yep.
would love to see you.
It's just
I-
rain, Bob. It's not snow
I
this
talked
time.
to him this week also. He calls me sometime.
Good.
And I just cherish it. I cherish the time I spend with these legacy folks who've been there and done it before us.
And if you guys are listening to us around the state, we try to have these wherever. Just so happens today we're having one in Twin Falls, hosted by Sky, I think.
Yeah, Sky
okay,
Fassett.
Sky Fassett. So
There's a host of people getting involved down there. And I'm
Yes,
so excited
me
to see
too.
it. Tacey Wright and Amanda Reeder and
Jason.
Jenny and Jason.
Yeah. And Sky and Kim and
Just
yeah.
great to have all you folks down there getting involved. It's a great program, right? Like we're just black.
Whoa, that was good.
So the fancy new, bigger switcher they moved the button so it's not next to your transition button, so you can't accidentally fade to black.
Like we just
Like
did.
I just did. It's all good, man.
Oh my.
So listen, why don't I bring up, let's see if there's anything else we want to just talk about. Let's hit this real quick.
Oh yeah. Got to do this
I
one.
gotta hide this guy, come up. Sorry, I produce
On the fly.
Check,
Yep.
right? So here's our fun shoots. This is a little bit of a teaser for our calendar. We did make some connection with the rodeo folks. We're working on dates for that. We're going to be at the Hawks baseball game coming up.
The Hawks baseball game might have some more information coming out. I would, Laquita offline, just give me a shout or whoever you talk to so we can get that dialed in. Not that there is,
It'd be nice to be able to put out that event like you did. That was the first time I've seen that in a long time, the event that you did by email. Mm-hmm. How did you do that?
I'm magic.
PFM?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, no. So
wasn't Eventageous and it wasn't Eventbrite. It was something else. Did that come out of our?
It came out of Wild Apricot.
I liked it.
But we have to.
Cool format.
Yeah, we have to. We'll talk about that later.
Cool.
So,
I just thought it was a cool format.
So Bob this year is our president for PPI, and we are going to make changes to the web end part thing of it.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, and we might have some news. Well, I know I have news on it. I just have to talk some more with the guy and make sure it's going to do exactly what we want it to do. So there you go.
Q is asking for the baseball. Yes, Laquita for the baseball.
Yes.
If you could just shoot Larry some details so that he can get an event out for that, because that's coming right up too.
I'll do my magic on that one too. My PEMF. So no PFEM. PFM.
PFM.
Yeah.
Excellent. And then I'm going to roll right into our title slide again and come back. Are we ready to talk about this?
I think so. I just kind of excited everybody. I got the rest of my kits coming. So.
Oh yeah. Sold a truck, bought equipment.
Yeah, exactly.
Very exciting. Did you see that giant heavy cardboard box on the floor over there?
I did. I almost tripped on it.
That's another workstation.
That's how come I looked over there. I thought you were going to put that over there.
It's going to come out of the box and get assembled. Hopefully later this afternoon and put the workstation in over there.
Okay. Is beer going to be involved?
You can count on it. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we're adding another computer workstation over there. I've got to get somebody in-house.
Oh, I do have one more thing. So,
Great.
And we just barely mentioned it, but sometime coming up in June, July, hopefully, we're going to get a hold of PPA and proctor a test here for the CPP. Mm-hmm. And so I just want to throw that out to everybody. So Laquita,
all I need is dates, and then I can get that request going.
So Laquita and I were on a Zoom call last night with Tim. What's his last name again?
Meyer.
Tim Meyer. So PPC, the Professional Photographers of California, is putting on this class.
A CPP prep class, basically, right?
CPP prep class, and Tim Meyer.
You're not nearly as profane today.
No, I'm
but
not.
You're more tongue-tied.
Yeah, I'm trying to hold back. So Tim is he's presenting this class along, and there's a couple other people on there, but Laquita and I were joined up thanks to Mike Collins again, who has blessed us with
an ardent supporter of what we do,
and he's kind of blessed us with the link between PPC and PPI, so that we can do this stuff without having to pay.
Well, and West Coast School, I mean, all of the things that's happening out west.
So it was great last night.
I really feel like we're the benefactor of something fantastic.
Well, we are, absolutely. And Laquita and I sat there for 3 hours and did this, but my point is if you're CPP test ready or you want to take the test, June or July at some point in time. We'll have to get back to you on that, but I know that Laquita and I want to take that test pretty much as soon as we can. So
So
There you go.
Laquita's kind of on deadline with this.
Yeah.
She says if the test is later than June 22nd, she can't take it because her declaration was 2 years ago then.
Gotcha.
If she gets the test done and passes it, they'll extend her a year to get her imaging done, which is brilliant. So we need to run it before that. So when does your program end?
June 1st, I think.
Okay, so then we need to set a date
So let's do it for
and get the request in.
Let's do it for like the 8th, I think.
Q, do you want to pitch us a date or two that we can work with, and then we can keep talking, and she can look that up for us if she's got time?
Yeah.
All right, so that's good. Let's go into our topic, and we'll come back to the test date because we don't have that nailed down yet.
So, Laquita, let's do, if we could do, and actually that class ends on Thursday the 1st. If we could do the week of the 5th, any time between the 5th and the 9th, or the 3rd is a Saturday, or the 10th is a Saturday.
Yeah, I'll have to look at my calendar too so we can talk about
I'm all good with that. So,
yeah. All right, so
all right.
I love helping people get their CPP.
Cool.
So let's break that down for just a minute. PPA has the Certified Professional Photographer certification. I know that sounds redundant, but it's the CPP certification. You earn that through a 100-question multi-choice test and very specific imaging. And I have everything you need.
Right.
I should say I have acquired everything you need. Kim donated a Sherman kit, and I bought umbrellas, the very specific umbrellas they call for. And we have assembled that kit to pass around or to do an imaging day with, or time together to do the imaging. And I just want our members to know that there's help to get the CPP. There's Phil White and I have both previously been CPP liaisons to Idaho. PPA has done away with that liaison program, but we both have a heart to continue in that capacity representing PPI and helping you succeed. And I'm going to say this. I told you this is our previous conversation before we came on air. Mm-hmm. I'm going to mention it.
Okay.
Because it directly relates to this.
Sure, absolutely.
I was at a large event yesterday, like I said, at Jump, and somebody that I know, that I am courting, who has a long time established business, we had a conversation, we shook hands and said, how you do's, and he looks me in the eye and he goes, you got a degree this year. I was floored. I've never had a non-photographer person comment on my photography degrees, my photographic craftsman degree. And he goes, I don't really know what it is. And it would be that way with any certification or degree that you have outside that person's industry. And he'll have certifications and letters and degrees for stuff that I don't understand, right? But he looks at me, he goes, that tells me you did the work. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, it's time and trade. It's time and trade, it's the work. And he goes, well, tell me about it. So I told him, I said, oh, well, this degree was earned through teaching and contributing to the industry. And he was just like, man, that's the coolest thing. This is somebody I really respect in the business community. And I've never had anybody comment on these things before. They're like, he's got letters and stuff after his name. And I don't splash them everywhere because people don't get it.
Yeah.
But I do. We've talked about window dressing. I have them in my studio for people to see.
As you should.
And they're, again, conversation starters, just like the dual wielding, right? The big rigs. What you got there? Wow, June 10th would work best for me, so I don't have to take time off. I have to look at my calendar. We've got workshops all month, all year long, so I have to figure out those works. And she votes for an imaging day. I do too. It's a great way to come together as a team to help everybody understand what they're accomplishing.
Mm-hmm. And it is, and like Bob said, it is very specific. I mean, you can't
swag it.
No, as Kim Minter found out, you can't leave the cap off of a pen. So yeah.
I think that was Sam.
Oh, maybe it was Sam.
Yeah. Anyway, it's so specific, and I know Kelly Zimmerman.
Yeah.
just did her imaging.
And she
She's
worked on
taking it
that.
past the test, and
She worked on that for a long time. Too,
yeah,
so.
it takes a while to get it done,
Yep.
and it has to be exactly
The way
what
they
they
say.
required. So
Yeah.
really, anyway, there's a lot more about that we could talk about, but I want to get to a program.
So, but again, go back to the point. If you're CPP ready, or you think you can go take the test, first of all, you have to declare. You got to go to. You have to be a PPA member. Got to go out there. You got to declare. It costs you a couple of $100. That's good for 2 years. You have 2 years to finish.
To pursue it. And I'm going to say, don't wait.
No, don't wait.
If you are an experienced photographer, and you know some stuff, take the test.
Yeah, it's the stuff that we went over last night was. There were a few like the definition for hyperfocal distance I thought was interesting. It's not the way I had heard it before, but I can see what he's saying. But there was a couple of items that I picked up. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. So yeah, it's worth it. He had, so a lot of you don't know.
Tim Meyer.
Yeah, Tim Meyer. I teach a program called the Exposure Diamond, and half of the diamond is the exposure triangle that everybody learns.
And then you add flash.
And I had flash. So, but he had a better, and I'm about ready to expand on that. Flash and ratios, I'm coming up with that one. He had a better exposure triangle.
Now you're looking at an exposure star when you start adding more legs.
Could be
Yeah.
an exposure star. I could be, yeah, that's true. He had a better exposure triangle diagram than I've ever seen before, and you can bet I picked it right up on that. Now it didn't change anything. I knew all that stuff, but it's one of those things where you're going, why didn't I think of that before?
This whole conversation encompasses the continuous learning that we do in our industry to continually improve. And it can look like a lot of things. It can look like showing up on a Saturday and photographing or a Civil War reenactment, or it could be taking workshops at your local level, or at your state level, at your regional level, and this anyway.
It's a ton of. There's a never ending. I will say this. I don't think I've gone through a single month of any year that I didn't learn something about photography. So let's unpack that. I've done that. I've literally shot weddings for over 20 years.
That's amazing.
And I'm learning, and some of it's technology, some of it's new, some of it's AI, some of it's computer related. But last night I'm going into this thing going, okay, let's see what I don't know, and sure enough, there were 2 items in there that now I knew about them. And I knew what they were, but
they expanded your depth on it.
Exactly, and exactly. So I don't know. Just if you're ready for the test, take it. Yeah.
And you only have to wait until the next test to go. If you don't manage to pass it, then you can take it again.
Yeah.
And you can take it until you pass it, and then
you can do the lighting thing.
All right. Listen, our topic today. This is really. For the folks in our industry, so if you're outside our industry and you're watching this, none of this is really probably relevant to you. It's just us talking. If you're inside our industry, if you're a photographer at any level, there's stuff here for you.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
We tend to spend the first half of our conversation just letting our conversation go where it wants to go. Sometimes it works with the comments. Sometimes it works.
We do that.
We do that.
We don't tend to do it.
I said do. We do that. But the second half of our conversation is always about something that's kind of intended to make you question what you're doing, how you're doing it, make you squirm in your seat, maybe make you a little uncomfortable because you're not in that space. Maybe you're not playing outside your comfort zone. Maybe you're not pushing yourself. Maybe you're not a student of business, and I love small business. I've been at it a long time. We're coming up on 20 years of small business ownership, my wife and I,
and that's awesome, by the way. Most small businesses don't last 20 years. So, well, you kind of had a... But
we had a retail store for 10 and a half years.
But you were forced out of that, basically. So.
Yeah, well, we had a wildfire in our community, right?
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, everything's gone.
Yeah. But this is our 10th anniversary with having this business, and longevity is a big deal. And you don't get longevity in business. You can be a photographer forever.
Right.
But if you have a plan to monetize your photography, then these conversations are for you.
Oh, and it's experience based, and then also book based, because you learn something
And
new
stuff.
every day.
I was at a branding show yesterday, a branding event yesterday. We had 5 speakers who spoke on branding.
Yeah.
That's my jam, dude.
Yeah. I wish I would have been there.
All right.
200 hours.
I'm going to roll this over, dude.
I have 200 hours left.
At your JOB.
So
I know there's a lot of you in our group that work full time. TJ,
yeah,
Laquita, you,
Gordon.
Lots of folks that have a business or are aspiring to have a business that work a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
In your case, you're retiring, and I'm so excited to see what you produce.
Dude, you can't begin to know. So I have 200 hours left, and I have 277 hours of PTO. So guess what? I really don't have to go back to work. So
that's brilliant.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's like I'm playing golf Monday afternoon. This next week.
What are they going to do?
Yeah, fire me. Go ahead. So I'm taking time. Don't worry about it. Okay,
time.
PTO time.
Yeah,
because I got to use it, or they just take it away.
Suck
from
it right up.
Yeah,
right.
So.
You ready to roll into this?
Let's do it.
All right. Our conversation today is what's in your walls. And if you notice, the background on this is exactly that. This is a studded wall. It's got the plumbing, the electrical, the HVAC. Everything's in this wall. And this conversation is based on a post that I saw on LinkedIn from one of my contractor associates. And if you know me, you know I spend a lot of time looking outside our industry for inspiration. Otherwise, you're just kind of rinse and repeat on what somebody else has done.
Inspiration and also contact information. I mean,
that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That goes with the networking and the social, that goes with that. But this guy posted a picture of a job they're doing. It's ready for the skin.
Yeah.
Okay.
The drywall.
It's ready for the sheetrock to go up. And what he does is he builds a build book. He puts together a build book for his client that has all the details, all the equipment's listed, make, model, serial numbers, sources, that kind of stuff, service numbers, all that stuff's listed, right? It's just, if you've ever been involved in a construction project, that's pretty normal. He takes pictures of the walls before they skin them. So the client knows where they can put a window, where they might take a door, where they could take a wall out. They're going to hang something, and you want to hang something, you want to put a screw in, you don't want to hit an HVAC, you don't want to hit your ductwork, put a hole in that.
Or a vent. Or a water pipe, yeah.
Yeah. You got a 2-story building, the upstairs bathroom comes through the wall.
Yeah.
You don't want to penetrate that.
Nope.
Oh, no.
Yep.
You're going to put a dog door in.
Even a simple.
You got to cut a piece of the wall out, put your dog door in.
And he just mentioned even something simple like hanging a picture, and it could be a heavier piece of artwork or whatever. So you're looking to hang 2 50-pound hooks or whatever, and you drill into a vent pipe. That's not a good thing. It'll be okay because you're going to put a screw or a bolt or something in there. But what about the next guy that takes that bolt out and and then now you have,
a hole in a vent, venting into your wall.
Yeah,
venting your dryer lint into the wall.
Or you could vent something into the upstairs that you don't want or whatever. So this is and go. I'm going to go with your next slide. You should go with it. But those things that he's just talking about are pain points. I mean that's so.
Bingo.
Yeah.
This is pain point. So I'm going to bring this in on the super source because I love this view, and we can look at it and talk about it while we chat here. Showing a client your process up front.
Yeah, which is huge.
Removes their pain points. So one pain point, I'm just going to make this about us because we're trying to defeat some pain points right now, And one of the pain points I get is if I haven't successfully communicated to our client and they're coming here for the first time and they've been referred by someone in their organization. So they didn't book their session. Somebody booked it for them. Because if you book a session, our automation informs you that we're at a house, that we're not in the house, and that we have a separate entrance.
So it's important for people to realize, so Bob's obviously a headshot artist, and he works out of his home. And his clients are not, usually not the mom and pop 1-2 employees.
Yeah,
They're bigger businesses, which have either executive assistants that take care of bookings, or they have, you name it, a different, like maybe even finance will book you. I'm just guessing, marketing, whatever. Yeah. So where does that email go back to? Well, it goes back to them, not to the people. And then that person tells the CEO and the CTO and the CFO, all that, okay, you guys need to go over to this studio, and they're going to shoot.
And they pull up out front, and they call me, and they're like, I'm at the address, but I'm not sure if I'm in the right place or not.
Yep.
What do we have? We have a pain point.
Yeah.
Right? I want them to know where they're going. I want them to know that, hey, you're not coming into my bedroom to make pictures. Okay?
Well, your dog wouldn't let
So we recently had a gal come over from one of our corporate clients, and she told the story. She's like, I wasn't sure at first. Somebody was like, you're going to go to his house? So this is the problem with the home studio, right?
Right.
Is you really have to go out of your way. We have to go out of our way to make it very clear that you're coming to a legit studio for the work. And it takes that apprehension away. It's one less layer of turd on top of what they have to do. Right? Because you know they're worried about getting a headshot to start with.
Yeah. And to be fair, once you're in here, it doesn't even look anything like...
Yeah. So we are we're going to shoot this like I would shoot a corporate structure. We're going to shoot this and get those pictures on the website so that you can understand what you're walking into. And that takes another layer off, right? That takes another layer off. Oh, that's the house. That's the door. Wow. That's what it looks like when you walk in. Okay. Now I know
what's going on.
Now I know I'm going someplace that's established and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
But this gal said to me, she's like, yeah, somebody was asking me, like, you're going to go to this dude's house? Like, you don't know this. Right. Problem. Big problem. Freaking huge ass problem, right?
Yeah.
Big problem.
And so all of you out there that aspire to do home studios, I will be one of them, but I'm going to do a different path. So my client showing up at my door will be much fewer than what Bob's got going on. But this is a good point for those of you that say, how can I do this and make some money at it and actually not have the outlay of a physical studio space to start with. Doesn't mean you can't do it later. I'm just saying.
And I've had those spaces.
Yeah, your other studio up the road was
huge. This was
huge.
A step back. It's an ego check. And now I'm like, dude, I love my space.
Yeah, so
like we're committed here.
You absolutely did the right thing. So for those of you that don't know, Bob was on Meridian Road. It was 2020, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or 2020. And circumstance.
The governor did the stay-at-home order.
And circumstance.
5 months of my work canceled in 3 hours.
Yeah, and circumstances caused him to basically rethink his business. And we talked that day, and he's going, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I said, dude, move to your house.
Got to take it home.
So and he did, and this place doesn't even look like a garage. So
that's because we remodeled it.
Well, sure, but again, this is a good takeaway for those of you that want to do something at home. He's got a separate entrance, which is perfect. That's
something we did specifically.
He's got basically you got quite a bit of parking on both sides of the street.
Yeah, there's plenty of room.
Not bad there.
We've got like 8 or 10 new Meridian cops. They're not new cops, but the new Meridian coming in next week. It's hilarious.
You'll watch the cop cars show up.
Well, they don't show up in cop cars because they're coming out of the academy. Even if they come from out of state, they come in and have to learn Idaho's laws, right?
Right.
And then, but they pull up and park all over the place out there, and then they're throwing their vests on, and I'm like, guys, come on inside, right? Like, come on in. Like, please don't tack up out in front of my house.
Looks like a SWAT
in
team.
for a raid, right? The narcs are here. They're going to knock the door down. Anyway, right?
So, and that's funny. The other thing you say about the what's in your walls is, and I'm going to shift a little bit here.
Yeah, bring it back.
Is that it's. I have talked before, like time and time again, about the pre-consult on a wedding, right, or an engagement, or whatever you do. Seniors is perfect for this also. Yeah. You need to lay out those expectations. You need to tell them what they're going to run into, what they're going to expect, and this is what's in your walls. It's perfect because if they just think they're going to come and get a senior picture taken and they're going to pay $5.95 for it, that's $5.95, by the way, and you're going to get a Canon printer and print it out on an 8x10 and
little selfie printer.
Yeah, and you're done. They're sadly mistaken, right? And if you talk to the really high-end senior photographers, they get a couple of thousand, 3,000, 5,000 a session. Yeah. So at the end of the day, because what they're doing is they're doing in-person sales, they're doing all this stuff. So it's important to tell that what's in your walls beforehand. And we talked about this a lot, especially in the wedding business. Well, I just want the prints, and I just want this, and I just want that. And to be honest, they don't just want that. They want it all. They just don't think they have the money for it.
Well, and there's so much educating the client that needs to take place. And this episode could have been called that. Mm-hmm. Could have been called Educate the Client.
Could have been, yep.
Because this is really what I'm talking about. Like, I just want to remove those barriers. I want to remove those pain points. I want them to fully understand. I've been talking to TJ. TJ produces video. I've been talking to TJ about, hey, I'd like to have you produce a behind-the-scenes video of a full session with my stylist, probably with a model so that we're working with somebody who doesn't mind having the video taken, and produce like a 2-minute video about what a session looks like with us. Mm-hmm. So somebody comes in and they know what to expect. I hear so many times, and don't take this the wrong way. This isn't, well, just don't take it the wrong way. I hear often, well, my last headshot photographer didn't do any of this.
Right.
Okay, but they didn't come expecting me to do that. So I love the surprise factor, but I want them to be excited about it.
And I'm going back to the pre-consult, right? I'm going to go back to that just briefly, because actually what we're kind of talking about, what's in the walls, is kind of a little bit different than that, right?
It is.
So the pre-consult is important, because these people have to know there's two things. You have to know if they're your client, and they have to know if you are their photographer.
That's a big deal.
And so, but
when I did weddings years ago,
yeah, you had to know.
If they didn't want to pre-consult, they weren't my client.
Exactly. Right? They're gone. So, but what's in your walls? Now, he just told you about some of the stuff that my pain points. Yeah. But there's also the niceties stuff. I call it the niceties things. You have makeup here. You have, whatever.
I'll have to do a tour of
the cabinet over there.
The cabinet over there. It's so cool.
It's the client here. If you let them know some of that stuff, you kind of have a little surprise, give them something.
Oh, I definitely want those surprises.
But
sometimes that looks like an extra image.
Yeah, because what's in your wall, sometimes you can drag more money out of, you can shoot another image of them, so.
Well, so we often shoot lots and lots, and they'll be like, oh, I love that one. Oh, but I really love that one. And then, because we do the in-person sales as part of our session.
Right.
And which is not unique to my industry, but probably unique to a lot of other industries. And by industry, I mean my niche within the photography trade. Poof, gone. Lost it.
Yeah, well,
there we
go. What's in your walls?
My train of thought.
What's in your walls is important, and it's important to disclose all of these pain points that you can possibly disclose, just like Bob figured out, they're pulling up in front of a house, like, I don't have any ideas. Is this the gray house or the red one or whatever it is? And you need to eliminate those pain points for a relatively seamless experience.
And then they show up with confidence, not worry.
And then you can hit them with a couple of surprises that they didn't even think about.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I have a new thing I'll show you afterwards. Remind me about the jelly beans.
Oh, cool. I don't think I've ever shown up to a wedding without gifts for the bride and groom. Yeah. I mean, it's just
brilliant concept.
And it's not so.
It's like thanking the client.
One of the gifts I give the brides all the time is a wedding kit. I get there early. God forbid I get there early, right? So way early, and I just get her alone and I say, I want you to have this. You can open. I prefer you open it here. And it has like the Tide stain remover sticks and some deodorant and I mean just stupid shit.
It's thoughtful.
Well, it's safety pins and I mean dumb stuff.
You could do a whole episode on that.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't do that anymore because I'm out.
I have
so
a clean bathroom. Like intentionally a clean bathroom for my clients to use.
Well, that's good.
With some self-care products for women, did that come out okay?
Yeah, came out fine.
Yeah.
Feminine products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In there, like, it's been commented.
Well,
like that was really thoughtful.
But that's the
like, well,
that's the type.
I have a wife, right? Like,
so
I understand.
that's the type of surprise thing I'm talking about. Is like you don't expect that.
Yeah.
You don't expect. I mean,
I probably won't put that in the video either.
No, I don't think so. But if you go to a Walmart for a senior picture, hey, the bathroom's down there with the other 50 people.
Dude.
Yeah. or we could go back to
Larry's going off the rails.
We could go back to Baker City and go to that, what was that place called? That hot dog.
The store, the bait shop, gun shop, deli, grocery store.
It was awesome.
Oh, dude. But you know what? The food was good.
The food was good. He walks in the bathroom, he comes back, he goes, oof. And I said, well, I got to go. He goes, I hope you have your tetanus shot.
I did say that. All right.
Okay.
I want to come back. Whew, bring it back. Bring it back.
We're really good.
We're running about 11:43 right now, and I just want to spend another moment with this. I'm going to bring the slide across. Let's do it this way. I want to help them to understand what to expect before they get here, right? I want to answer. I want to know, and I do because I talk to my clients. What questions did you have before you got here that I could have answered ahead of time?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Holy cow! How thoughtful is that?
Yeah.
How can I? It's how can I do better, right? It's how can I be better at what I do? I'd love to have your input.
And if you ask this question, you get this. Well, hopefully you fix stuff, right? So you don't see a pattern, but it almost can't.
Every time I fix something, there's something else to fix.
Yeah.
Right?
I almost guarantee you if you asked this question over a month and didn't fix anything, you'd see a pattern emerging, right?
Right.
It's like you'd see oh,
geez. And I've seen the call and text pattern emerging. I can see a car sitting at the end of the road in front of our house. We're at a T. And I can see them sitting there on their phone. Because I try to meet my clients outside if I can.
You ought to put a Ring camera out there and just show it on that in there. That'd be kind of cool. Then you could actually
know when they're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I come up with a lot of ideas to spend his money, so it's all good.
I do pretty well spending my own money.
You do. Where's that one for 35 at?
I'm going to come back to us here. Folks, we don't need to hammer this too much.
No.
You have an opportunity to solve their problems, answer their questions before they get here. Show them what's in your walls before they get here, dressed up, ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enough said. I mean, literally, that's the crux of today's show. In about 30 seconds, and we spent an hour not talking about it.
It's good, man. I want to have you close. Let's wrap it because we got to clean up and then head over to lunch.
We got lunch today.
Yeah. And so lunch today, actually, our twin folks should probably already be dining because they were going to meet at 11:30, I think, today.
Maybe they'll watch us on the big screen at the restaurant. That'd be
probably not. Maybe they'll catch the replay. I love it. If you are watching the replay, I have the live comments on replay on YouTube, and you can interact with those there, and I get a notification, and we can have a conversation even after the fact. So I love it. I would love to have you. I've been rolling this along here. Like and subscribe. One of the things that we know is that a number of our viewers are from out of state. They're from other PP organizations, if you will.
Correct.
And that's super meaningful to us. It has helped our membership grow, but it has helped us become more established industry-wide with other affiliates across the nation. And that's a great feeling, folks. I'll be in a group at Imaging, and somebody will be like, "You're the guy that does those." Yeah, that's us. And they want to know about it. Like, they've cornered me. They've cornered me in workshops, and we go off in a corner and with 20 or 30 people talk about how the live streaming interacts with our organization and how they can do it. And it's just been really rewarding. So if you're with us, I'd love to have your just hit the thumbs up and subscribe for us. I'm not going to spam you.
Yeah, and
I'm just not going to spam you.
You know, it doesn't. I mean, the subscribe it just helps build our numbers and helps get us out there more and more and more. That's
I think we're at 78 subscribers right now.
Which is, if we could get to 100 this year, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be very cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, help us out with that. And then, you ready to do this thing?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to close up. I'm going to take, wow, there's a camera up there. Oh, I know why. Super Source, baby.
Yeah. Turn it off.
All right, I'm going to roll this over.
Okay.
And we're going to close with this,
okay,
like we usually do.
All right. So if you like what we're talking about, if you have a photographic mind or not, and you want to have one, and you want to join up with us and meet and enjoy some fellowship and social activities with us, we really would like to have you. It does say professional in our title. We don't expect anyone. If you
there
would like
a specific level of professional that's
correct.
required.
So if you want to join us, feel free. PPOFidaho.com. If you go out there, there's a big Join Us button on the front page. You click that. It goes to the page where you pay your money. Very easy to slide your card in there. It's $99 a year or $9.99 a month. We do ask for a 12-month commitment. So if you want to save $20 or so, do the $99 per year.
That's a great thing.
What does that get you? Well, it helps us do content like this. It helps us do the fun shoots like we've done all
Every
year.
month since last October.
Yeah. And it also gets you discounts on our two big activities. One is is convention, which is usually in April-ish, March, April of the first year. And then we have a fall retreat every year around September sometime.
Yeah.
So those are the things that we have that are out there that are long-standing. We're going to try some new stuff this year, I'm sure. So we're going to see where it goes. We also have print competition. We've had it once a year recently.
We're going to call that image competition.
Image competition. Yeah. But we are thinking about more times a year on that one.
Yep.
So we're starting to ramp up.
There's a lot of irons in the fire right now.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about it.
Me too.
Your board of directors, we're trying to wrap here, but I'm going to just say this. Your board of directors has a retreat coming up. And there's always really good things that come out of the retreat, including learning to be better leaders, right? And education about how nonprofits work, as well as just brainstorming sessions, because you're with somebody from sunrise through sunset and after late night, just having conversation and brainstorming.
And for those of you that don't know, we have a 5-member board, and usually every year at least one member drops off. So this is a constant rotation of people. Yeah.
So Sam was our past president, and he's left the board now. Still an active member of our organization, and we picked up Amy Peterson. I'm so excited about having Amy on board here.
So it's nice to get to. I mean, you can't. What I'm trying to say is you have to have continuity.
Yes.
and this
as the board evolves.
Yeah. So
that's what the leadership.
That's what we're doing. So
this isn't anything fancy. We're not winging our way to Paris or.
PPFidaho.com. Join us button. We really like to have you.
We're going to sign it out there, right? I'm going to drop that over there. And we'll hopefully, you were on next week?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll try and catch it up next week. I won't be here next week.
Where are you
I'm
going?
going to Spokane. See, now they've got
Oh,
that
for-
and they're hearing our voices.
Okay.
We're going to rock out tonight and come join us for lunch. We'll see
Yep.
you soon.
Pueblo Lindo, just a couple of minutes.